Well, thanks again, everybody, for joining us on another edition of Spincast here at Stay Plugged In. Joining us today from the state of Virginia, we have JASMINE NGUYEN. She's the president of the Virginia Commonwealth University Esports Club. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I am good. I am good. See, I didn't have the heart to tell our audience that you're now the ex-president because you're graduating. I'm going to let you explain all
Yes.
that. But
Yes. So, oh, sorry.
no, that's okay. So what I'd like to do is kind of how you start everyone is just tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, how you got to the realm of esports, kind of
Mhm.
in this space in general, and then obviously what led you to the position at Virginia Commonwealth.
As Rick said before, I'm now the ex-president. I was president for the spring 2020 semester of the Esports Club at VCU, and now that I've graduated, I've become the ex-president. But I was asked to stay as an advisor to help the new board transition.
Oh,
So I'm still part of the club and everything, just not president anymore. So
gotcha.
um,
How,
I got into esports when I was about 15 or 16, so freshman year of high school. So it's been a long time. I've been playing games for a long time. And it kind of started because I moved very suddenly right before high school started. I was really excited to start high school, but my parents split up, so I moved to a different state. And as a result of that, I was going through, a really hard time, like adjusting to a new state, a new school, and all of that. And um, one of my friends was like, "Why don't you play games with us?" And I was like, I mean, I have nothing better to do. Like, why not? So I downloaded this game called League of Legends,
mhm.
and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. You know, um, I made so many friends. I learned so many new things playing that game. I got introduced to the esports scene,
Mhm.
which was really exciting because like competitive gaming is so fun and so fun to watch and so fun to be a part of. And I've been playing League of Legends for like 7 years now, so
Wow.
it's become a really big part of like my favorite hobby, my favorite video game, and it's one of the coolest ways that I've met a lot of my friends currently. So
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. That's awesome. That's a cool story in respect to where you are today. Obviously, it started under a bad pretense.
yeah.
But let's talk about that for a moment because obviously not similar, but to a degree, when someone goes on campus for the first time and they're away
Mhm.
from home, that's
Yeah,
a can be a scary thought.
yeah,
So being
it's a new
able to
place.
join, yeah, being able to join a club such as the Esports Club at VCU, I think
Mhm.
could be comforting. So talk a
Yes.
little bit about your club. Talk about some of the games that are played there, and the size of the club,
Mhm.
etc. Give us some information.
Yeah. So, esports at VCU actually started out as a club called VESPA, which stands for Virginia Esports Association.
Okay.
But then we decided to switch names because we're at VCU, our school. So we decided to change it to Esports at VCU. A lot of people confuse our name and say VCU Esports, but technically we're not allowed to use that like branding. So we have to
Cool.
say Esports at VCU.
Got it.
And it started out as a League of Legends club because that's a very popular esport.
Mhm.
So it was just League of Legends players. It would be like, 20, 30 students would just meet in a classroom every Friday evening and just play League together. But, word started getting around and people started hearing about this League club and they were like, what? I play League too. I want to join. So, it got very big within the span of like a year
Wow.
and a half. So we grew to like over 100 members.
Wow.
So we had to get a bigger room, a bigger space because a classroom was not enough space for all of us. And, everyone has to bring in their setups, their laptops to
That's right.
play. Um, and we grew and then we grew so big that we started kind of bringing in different games. So we had
Awesome.
competitive Overwatch.
Mhm.
We have a CSGO team and I think in 2018, 2017, Smash joined us. So that was super cool. We had
Yep.
Smash Ultimate join us. And it was just amazing to have like, one little group of gamers that played one game
Mhm.
kind of blossomed into like an entire esports club that had many different games that people play. And now in our Discord, we have games like people that play Sue, Valorant games. We have other fighting games, and even Minecraft. And now our newest addition is an Animal Crossing chat in our Discord. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
we have.
Very cool.
I'm very proud of how diverse our gamers are in terms of like who they are, but also what they play.
Yeah, I think that's critical. Again, for someone kind of stepping on campus and finding a niche, because the
Hmm.
reality is pretty much everyone plays probably some game to some degree. It's just some are
Hmm.
super competitive, some just do it for fun, some do it for the social aspect of it, et cetera. So having that
Exactly.
opportunity at VCU is incredibly cool. So let's talk about some of the more competitive games that are played at VCU.
Yeah.
Who would you say are some of the rivals that you guys either like to scrim against or play against in tournaments, et cetera?
Um, I think the people we've been playing most against, or at least for our competitive League of Legends team, is ODU.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot of friendly scrims with them, and they're we've been communicating through a Discord that has a bunch of other Virginia schools. So
Hmm.
it's mainly so far just schools in Virginia that
Cool.
we've been scrimming with,
Cool.
and it's always fun to play, against other schools and have a little friendly banter and all that.
No doubt. No
Yeah.
doubt. Cool. Now, a couple of other things you mentioned at the outset is the inclusivity and diversity within your club.
Hmm.
That's something that you cherish because there are so many different games that can be played. So,
Yes.
going along that same vein, there are not historically a lot of women that are
Hmm.
gamers and are
Yeah.
to get to the position you're at, where you're now the president
Yeah.
of the Esports Club. Talk a
Hmm.
little bit about that journey, one, and maybe some of the difficulties that you may have encountered. I know for me, I've got a daughter who's going to be a freshman, and the
Hmm.
reality is, whatever you're passionate about should be something that you pursue. No ifs, no ands, or buts. So,
Yeah. So I'm sure a lot of other female gamers can relate, but there's kind of been a culture of like sexism within the
hmm
gaming community. It's
hmm
definitely improved by so much, but it's definitely still there.
hmm
And so I think that to be blessed with rising up the e-board ranks to president um, means a lot to for representation of women in esports. And I remember when I was a freshman, one of the first eBoard members that reached out to me from the Esports Club was actually another girl, and I felt,
awesome.
so much more welcomed and comfortable knowing that there was someone like me, a girl,
Yep.
also in the club, and she was very well respected too. All of the members, male or female, like really looked up to her because she was extremely hardworking,
Cool.
and she was really my inspiration. So I hope that I can be an inspiration for other, girl gamers too. So I've definitely tried really hard to reach out to more female gamers to bring them into the club. And I think it's a lot easier to join a club when you meet someone that's similar to you. So,
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt
mhm.
about it. And for me, I look at it like I said: if you're black, white, male, female, and, if you can play the game and you like to play,
Yeah, of
there you go.
course.
That's all it really takes
Yeah.
at that point. So all the other stuff, hopefully, with our audience and some of the things we're trying to develop is to
Hmm.
build those solid foundations to have other people understand that as well and kind of
Hmm.
break down that toxicity that sometimes
Yeah.
you get when someone has a screen in front of them as opposed to seeing someone face to face.
Yeah.
So tell us about your career path moving forward, because I would suspect most of our audience is probably wondering, all right, now she's the ex-president, she's graduating, what's she going to do?
Yes, so I'm actually a biology student. I have a degree in biology now, and I'm moving on to optometry school in New York City. So I'll be studying to be an eye doctor. And honestly, being a part of the esports club it's taught me so much that like a teacher can't teach you. It's stuff that I've learned
Sure.
on my own. Being a leader, being a gamer, gaming has taught me so much about good communication. It's incredible. Like the amount of communication I have to do with my teammates, but also just critical thinking skills I've developed a lot from competitive gaming alone. And so those are the types of skills that I definitely attribute to competitive gaming that I've learned and will help me be successful in optometry school.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think that parallels to a number of different professions, in all
Yeah.
sincerity, whether it's
Yeah.
optometry or software development or anything else.
Hmm.
I think there's so much that can be learned from esports in
Yeah.
general that you can certainly take with you.
Hmm.
Talk about, if you don't mind, for your events that you hold on campus. Obviously, right now we're kind of on lockdown,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but prior to the COVID
Hmm.
19, what were the events like? I know some of the LAN events I've been to, and I've kind of been able to see those, but tell me a little bit about what happens on campus there at
Hmm.
VCU.
Yeah, so for the Esports Club, we meet every Friday. So once a week, well, every Friday when we can. So not during finals or midterms and not during holidays, obviously, but on
Mhm.
regular school weeks, we meet every Friday evening at 6 or 7 p.m. And we literally just invite everybody. We're like, bring yourself, bring a snack, bring your computers, bring your Nintendo Switches, bring your TV monitors, like just bring whatever you want to game with us. And eBoard members such as myself and my team will host like either League of Legends games. We've done Overwatch, we've done Minecraft, we've even played just board games. Um, and we just chill, have a fun, chill time, socialize with each other, and play video games. And so those are just our regular Fridays, but we do have events. So we have viewing parties all the time for competitive game events. We have viewing parties
Nice,
for our own tournaments.
nice.
And then we have these things called TESPA events because we're a
Mhm.
TESPA chapter.
Yep.
So TESPA events are super fun. We get prizing from TESPA, and we have a bunch of like mini games, mini tournaments, and the winners of those tournaments get to go home with swag and loot from TESPA. So it's super fun.
For college kids, that's all that
Yeah, free
matters.
stuff. Oh my gosh, I've gotten so much free stuff.
That's
Uh,
cool. Very, very cool.
yep.
So let's talk about moving forward. Obviously, you're not going to be there, but if you can
Mhm,
continue to see Virginia Commonwealth grow in
mhm.
respect to the esports club there, what would you like to see happen, let's say, over the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, my dream is for Virginia Commonwealth University to have like kind of like a computer lab for esports, like just dedicated to esports. You know, like have gaming setups and TVs and stuff like just for esports. Like that would be a dream come true, and that's what I hope all universities do. I know there are some out there that have those setups,
Hmm.
um, and they cost a lot of money. But I think if we could have just one computer lab for competitive gaming, I think it could bring in so many new opportunities for the students and the school. So,
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's a
mhm,
recruiting tool as well. I think more and more schools are
exactly.
starting to understand, hey, we can get
Hmm.
more of a presence on campus.
Hmm.
And if it's a multi-purpose computer lab, then it's kind of a win-win for both
Yeah,
sides to a degree.
yeah,
So I've started to hear that quite a bit more too. So hopefully that'll
yep.
be the case. Couple more questions before we have to go. But if you look at what you do currently, do you
Hmm.
like the role of president more and kind of the responsibilities you have there, or the gaming aspect more? What do you like to do better?
Oh, in terms of like being a part of the esports club?
Meaning, since you're the president, the
Yes.
role and the responsibilities you have with that, I'm sure people, you probably don't look at it as a job necessarily, as something that you love to do. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously you game. So if you only had it
Hmm.
one to choose from, which one would you choose? I
That's
know.
very hard.
Good.
um, I think I would choose being president.
Okay.
Um, because I think it was a very rewarding experience for sure. Like I said, I learned so much that can't be taught in a classroom, you know?
Right. Right.
And I got to meet so many people. So, you know, forming bonds and friendships with people that love to game just like I do. I think I would give up gaming just to, you know, keep being a leader and keep, you know, um, creating bonds and friendships with other people.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. That's awesome. And then my last question is, if you look down the road 4 or 5 years, we talked
Mhm.
about what it would look like at VCU, but for you, will you continue gaming, do you think?
I think I might have to cut back a little bit since I'll be studying so much,
Sure.
but I think I will be a gamer for life, for
Yeah,
sure.
no doubt. And the reason I ask is, unlike most traditional sports, with the exception of some basketball, obviously you can go to any court and kind of pick up a
Yeah.
basketball and keep playing. But some of the other sports, football, baseball, etc., it's hard to continue with
Yeah,
that thing that you love.
for
Where
sure.
with esports, if you love it and you continue the bond with the relationships that you've built, you can continue. Or even if you don't, you can technically play against anybody, but you
Yeah.
can continue on for as long as you want to.
Hmm.
So, well, as I mentioned, these typically go about this amount of time. So I sincerely appreciate you coming on again. I thank you. I hope everything goes well for you in New York.
Thank
And
you.
hopefully, the next person in charge of the Esports Club does pretty much what you're able to
Oh
do,
yeah,
because
it's in good hands.
it's in good hands. Okay, good
Yep.
answer. Good answer. We'll make sure to emphasize that. No, but again, I do sincerely appreciate it. I hope our audience is able to pick up even just a couple of bits of information, because I think it's important. But we wish you all the best success, and thank you for coming on Stay Plugged In.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.